Hello and welcome back. In our previous session, we deep dive into the exciting world of high performance computing and explored its numerous benefits. We discovered how HPC can revolutionize computation intensive tasks and streamline research. We also learned that in the software stack of HPC, the operating system we use is Center 7. We are going to take a closer look. First, these are the table of content, that is the introduction to Linux. Then we will learn Linux file system. Then we go through the command line interface. Then we go through what is user and permission management. Then we talk about some basic command. So let's begin. The first thing is, what is Linux? So Linux is a free, open source and community developed operating system. It was created by Linus Torvalds in 1991 and it is released under the GNU General Public License version 2. Linux can be used on a wide range of devices including computers, server, mainframes, embedded devices and mobile devices. Linux can be used in both CLI, that is command line interface, or GUI, that is graphical user interface mode. The CLI is a text-based interface that gives you direct access to the Linux operating system. The GUI is a graphical interface that is more user-friendly and easier to use. Linux supports 32-bit and 64-bit hardware. This means that it can be used on a wide range of devices from old computer to the latest servers. Linux is a powerful and versatile operating system that is used by millions of people around the world. It is free, open source, and community developed, which means that it is constantly being improved and updated. So, the next thing is Linux distribution. A Linux distribution, also known as distro, it is a variant of the Linux operating system that has been customized with a specific set of hardware. There are hundreds of different Linux distributions available, each with its own strength and weakness. Some Linux distributions are commercially backed, such as Fedora, SUSE, and Red Hat Enterprise Linux, that is RHL. These distributions typically offer more support and stability than community-driven distribution, but they can also be more expensive. Other Linux distributions are community-driven, meaning that they are developed and maintained by volunteers. These distributions are often more customizable and offer a wide range of software options, but they may also be less stable and have less support. So here are some examples of popular Linux distribution. So the commercially backed distribution, these are Fedora, SUSE and RHL. And for the community driven distribution, the like Debian, Slackware, Gentoo, Arch Linux, etc. Let's see some Linux feature. Linux is a powerful operating system that offers a number of advantages, which include first multi-user capability. That is, Linux allows multiple users to log in and use the system at the same time. This is useful for business, school, and other organizations where multiple people need to share a computer. The second one is multitasking. Linux can run multiple programs at the same time. This means that you can work on multiple documents. The third one is portability. That is, Linux is a portable OS, meaning that it can be run on a variety of hardware platforms. This makes it ideal for using either embedded system or other devices where space and weight are limited. The fourth one is security. Linux is very secure OS. It is less susceptible to viruses and malware than other operating systems. The fifth one is file system. Linux has a powerful file system that allow you to organize your file in a logical and in an now see some advantage of Linux. So as we have seen, first Linux is an open source, which means that the source code is freely available for anyone to view, modify, or to distribute. This makes Linux more transparent and secure than other operating systems, and it also allows for a wide range of customization options. The second one is security. As we see, Linux is known for its security. It is less susceptible to virus and malware than other operating systems, and it has a number of security features which is built in, such as firewall and intrusion detection system. The third is free. Linux is free to download and use, which make it great option for budget-minded user. The fourth one is lightweight. Linux is a lightweight operating system, meaning that it uses less system resource than other operating system. This make it ideal for older computer and other devices with limited resources. The fifth one is stability. Linux is very stable operating system. It is less likely to crash or freeze than other operating system, which making it ideal for use in critical application. The fifth one is performance. Linux is a high performance operating system. It can handle even the most demanding tasks with ease. Now see some difference between Linux and Unix. So what is Linux? As you all know, it is an open source operating system which is freely available to everyone. But Unix, in other hand, it is an operating system which can be only used by its copywriter. So who are the users who are using it? For Linux, Linux is in great demand. Anyone who can use Linux, whether a home or user developer or a student. But in a Unix, it is mainly developed for server, workstation, and mainframe. Now see the uses. Linux is used everywhere, from server, PC, smartphone, your tablet, to mainframe and supercomputers. But Unix is mainly used in server, workstation, and some PCs. Now see some example which are available in Linux. It has different distros like Ubuntu, Red Hat Fedora, and in Unix we have IBM, HP, UX, and Sun Solaris. Now see the Linux architecture. So the Linux operating system has primarily three main components, that is kernel, shell, and application. Let's see one by one in detail. The kernel. The kernel is the core component of the Linux operating system. It is responsible for managing the hardware and providing services to the other component of the system. The shell. The shell is a command line interface that allows user to interact with the operating system. It provides user with a way to execute command, manage file, and start a program. Application. The application layer is a collection of software application and tools that run on top of the kernel. This include everything from word processor and web browser to games and utilities. The kernel and shell are essential component of the Linux operating system, but the application layer is what makes Linux so useful. These are thousands of different Linux applications available, so user can customize their system to meet their specific need. Now we will see Linux file system. So a Linux file system is a structured collection of files on a disk drive or a partition. Every partition contains a file system. The Linux file system is organized in a hierarchical structure with the root directory at the top. The root directory is denoted by the forward slash symbol. The Linux file system contains the following section, that is the root directory, a specific data storage format, and a partition or logical volume in a particular file system. Let's see one by one in some detail. The root directory is the top level directory in the Linux file system. It contains all other directories and files on the system. The data storage format is the way in which the file system stores on the data. There are a number of different Linux file system formats available, such as ext3, ext4, btrfs, and xfs. The third one is, what is partition? A partition is a section of a disk drive that is formatted with a particular file system, and a logical volume is a collection of one or more partition that is treated as a single unit by the operating system. Now we will see in this diagram the Linux file system. So the first thing is slash root. It is a primary hierarchy root and root directory of the entire file system hierarchy. Every single file in the directory starts from this root directory. Only root user have the permission to write under this directory. Slash root is the root user's home directory, which is not same as slash directory. Then came slash bin. It is an essential user command binaries. Whatever the application binaries are there are stored in this slash bin directory. Example, your cp, ls, all these command are binaries are stored under this slash bin directory. Slash boot. It is used for a static file for or the bootloader. Then slash dev. It is used for device file size. Then slash etc. The host specific system configuration. It means whenever we contain configuration files that is required by the program, this contain startup and shutdown shell script which is used to start stop individual program. Then slash home is your home directory. Slash lib is a directory where the binary, whatever the in the slash bin directory, the binary are available. For that, whatever the libraries are there is stored in the slash lib. Example, if you see lib.so, when you go under this directory, you will see some file with the name lib.so. So these are the stored in the slash lib directory. Then slash media. It is used for the removable media. Then slash mnt. It is used for mounted file system. Slash opt. If we want to add on application software package, we store into slash opt. Sbin. Sbin is used for system binaries. Slash srv. It is used for data services from system, like the files which are used for running of browsing the internet. Slash tmp is used for temporary file. Slash user is user utilities and application. It is a secondary hierarchy for read-only user data. It contains the majority of multiple user utilities and application. It contains binaries, libraries, documentation, and source code for second level program. If you go slash user slash bin, it contains binary file for the user program. If you can't find a user binary under slash bin, look under slash user slash bin. For example, AT, AWK, CC, less, SCP, these commands are available under this directory. Then slash proc. It is a virtual file system which provides process and kernel information of a file. In Linux, it corresponds to a proc mount, generally automatically generate and populate by the system on the fly. Here, whatever the command is mentioned in the diagram, so one thing to note that down is that some command if you try, it will not work because they require some root access. Now we will see what are the features of the file system. So Linux file system uses the forward slash to specify the path to files and directories. For example, the path to work directory in the my document directory is slash home slash my document slash work. In this contrast with Windows, which uses drive letter to organize drive. For example, the path to the work directory on the Windows is C drive. In Windows, it is C slash my document slash work. Linux does not use drive letter to organize drives. Instead, drives are mounted on directories in the file system. For example, the root directory of the first drive on a Linux system is typically mounted at forward slash. This means that the path to the work directory on the first drive in Linux is slash work. The Linux file system is case sensitive. This means that the file's name test.txt and capital T test.txt have two different files. This is different from Windows, where the file name test.txt and capital T test.txt are considered to be the same file. The third one is file extension are not necessary in Linux. However, they are often used to indicate the type of file. For example, the file my_file.txt is likely a text file. If you try to open a file that does not have an extension, the Linux operating system will be determine the type of its file based on its contents. Hidden files in Linux are represented by a dot before the file name. For example, the hidden file .ignore is hidden from view default. To view hidden file in Linux, you can use the ls-a command. Now we see what. So, Linux is a non-graphical operating system, which means that it does not have a desktop environment by default. Instead, it uses a text-based interface called a terminal. A terminal is a program that allow you to run a shell. A shell is a command line interpreter that interprets and processes the command that you enter. Some popular shell include bash, jetshell, etc. To use the terminal, you can use open a terminal in a window. This can be done by pressing Ctrl plus Alt plus T on most of the Linux distribution. Now let's see the first look at the command line interface. The shell prompt is basically composed by username at the rate hostname, then there is a colon and there's a location and there's a dollar sign. So username is your username, in which username you have been logged in. Like here in the above uh, diagram, you see the username is called John. And then the host name came. It is the name of the system where we log in. Here see we can see that there is at the rate Ubuntu is there. And then there is a location, the working directory that we are in. After colon, there is a working directory like here in the diagram we are in /tmp temporary folder. And there's a dollar. It means it delimit the end of the prompt. That is, from this you can either enter your command. You see about the editors. So editor are the important things in a command line edit interface. If you want to create a file or to view a file or to edit a file, you need an editor. In Linux, in a command interface, we have VI, VIM, or Nano. Let's see about the VI editor. VI is the oldest and the most widespread editor which is available in a Linux. VI offers a powerful set of commands and features that allow for efficient text editing for search, replace, and more. Now see how to use it. If you want to open a file, let you just press VI file name. Or if you want to create a file, just write VI and the file name. If go to move the cursor up, down, left, and right. For this, use your arrow keys of the keyboard to enter into the insert mode, or that is to write anything in the file. Press I button. Then write your text. And if you want to enter in a command mode, press X button, where you can search, replace, or anything you can write by command and do editing in a text file. If you want to save a file, press Shift plus S and then type WQ exclamatory mark to save a file. And if you don't want to save a file, just want to read and exit, just use Shift plus S, then colon Q exclamatory mark. Now VIM editor, that is also known as Vim editor. Vim is a short for VI improved. It is an enhanced version of the classic VI text editor. Vim is a model editor, which means that it has different modes for different tasks. For example, there is a mode for entering text, a mode for moving the cursor, and a mode for executing the command. Now see, here I give you some tips about how to use VIM. It is similar like VI. To open a file or to create a file, just write VIM then your file name. And if you want to move inside the file, just use your cursor up, down, left and right button from the arrows keys of a keyboard. And if you want to enter any text, go to insert mode by pressing I button. If you want to enter in a command mode, similar, press S button and write your command. If you want to save the file, press Shift plus S and then type colon WQ exclamatory mark. And if you want to exit file without saving, press Shift plus S and then type colon Q exclamatory mark. Now we will see what are the user management. So these are the following user account which are available in a Linux. So there are three main type of Linux account. The first one is super user account. The super user account, also known as the root account, it has the highest level of privileges on a Linux system. The root account can access any file on the system and perform any operation. The second one came is a regular account. Regular account are used by everyday users. Regular account have limited privilege and cannot access certain file or perform certain operation. The third one is system account. System account created and used by the operating system. System accounts are typically used to run service and perform other system related tasks. Then the fourth one came is a service account. Service accounts are created when a service is installed on a Linux system. Service accounts are typically used to run the service and perform other tasks related to the service. It is important to note that super user account should only be used when necessary. A regular account should be used for everyday tasks. This helps to improve security and prevent accidental damage to the system. Now we will see the Linux file permission. Linux file permission control who can read, write, and execute file and directories. So there are three types of file permission. The first one is user. The user permission determine what the owner of the file can do with the file. The group. The group permission determine what the group that owns the file can do with the file. And other means the other permission determine what everyone else can do with the file. To view the file permission for a file, you can use the ls-l command. This command will list the permission for all the file in the current directory. The output of the ls-l command will look like something like this. So here you can see there is hyphen rw, hyphen r, hyphen hyphen r, hyphen hyphen. So this type of user group and the name is there, the time is there, and the folder name is there. So let's understand what are these. The first character of the output indicate the type of a file. In this case, the first character is a hyphen. This means which indicate that the file is a regular file. The next three characters indicate the user permission. In this case, the user permission are rw hyphen, which means that the owner of the file can read and write the file. Now, the next three characters which indicate the group permission. In this case, the group permission are r hyphen hyphen, which means that the group that owns the file can only read the file. The next three characters indicate the other permission. In this case, the other permission are r hyphen hyphen, which means that everyone else can only read the file. Now see, if you want to modify any file permission, what you can do. So it can be done by the chmod command. The chmod command is used to change the file permission for a file or a directory. The file permission control who can read, write, and execute the file or directory. To use the chmod command, you need to specify the permission that you want to change and the file or directory name that you want to change the permission for. The permission can be specified using the following symbol. U means user, J means group, O means other, A means for all. To remove a permission, you can use the minus symbol. To add a permission, you can use the plus symbol. To set a permission, you can use the equal symbol. The chmod command can be used to change the permission for a file or directory, including the permission for other users. O, the group, G, and the user U, or all for A. To give the other user write permission or to section a file, you can use the following command like chmod o plus wsec under your file name, that is section. So by this you can see now the permission changes that the other user, like we can earlier we have seen the first three like is hyphen rw, then hyphen r hyphen hyphen, then hyphen rw. Now the other user can also read or write, having read or write permission. But earlier in the below example, when you see there is only a read permission is there. You can change the permission by giving the symbolic mode also. Like if you want to give no permission, type 0. If you give number 1, it gives only execute permission. If you give number 2, it will give write permission. If you give number 3, it will give execute and write permission. If you give number 4, it will give read permission. If you give 5, it gives read and execute permission. If you give number 6, it will give read and write permission. And if you give 7, it give all permission, that is read, write as well as execute. So in the previous slide, you have seen that by giving the number, we can change the permission. So let's take an example. If you want to change the permission of a file, let's say any file name that is myfile.txt. If I want to change the permission to 755. So how you would can do that? You write chmod, then 755, that is all the permission you want to give, and then your file name, that is myfile.txt. So what this would give? This would give the owner of the file the for the read and write permission. So first 7 will be the for the read and write and execute, that give all the permission. And the second one is 5, that is for the group members we have read and execute permission. And for the next 5, that is for any other else we have else read and execute permission. Now see with the 777 permission. So if we have given chmod 777 and file name, that is section, this command will give read, write and execute permission to everyone for the specified section of a file. This is very powerful command and it should be used with the caution. So when we are given 777, so what is it? It give owner of the file to read, write and execute, that is given by RWX, and the group people it also given read, write and execute RWX, and therefore the all other else people we have read, write, execute. Now let's see the command syntax. So the typical syntax for a Linux command is as follows. First we write command, then we hyphen argument, then we give hyphen hyphen long hyphen argument, then your file name. Here is the example I have given. The command. Command means what is the name of the command you want to give. Hyphen argument. It is a short argument that modify the behavior of the command. Hyphen hyphen long hyphen argument. It is a long argument that modify the behavior of the command. File. This is the file or directory in which the command has to be applied. Like here in the given uh, uh, picture I have shown you. Like here when I do given ls command, so these are the two file I have seen. That is John hyphen directory is a directory file and then John hyphen file is a file. Then I will given ls hyphen l to see what are the permission are given to those command. So when I see that there's a John hyphen directory, that is, and John file, it is a normal read write permission is given. Then I have given some ls-l-h command. So what does it mean? that it can given what are the size of the file of a uh, uh, what is the size of the file is given of a directory and a file name. Then if I given ls-lh and the particular file name John file, so what is the size of the particular John file? I have given then ls-l hyphen human readable hyphen John file. That is a with the long argument I have given. So it gives me, that is, it gives me the command with size, how much file in a human readable format, that is 5K. Now we will see some Linux command. So here I want to give you about idea of one command, that is man command. So man command is a command by which you want to display the manual page for various command or any function or system call. Like there, let's take one example. The first one is pwd. And the first thing you have to note down that the command in a Linux is case sensitive. That is small pw, it gives print the current working directory. But the capital PWD returns an error. It says command not found. So if you want to know this command, what it will do and how it can be written, you can it can be given in the manual pages. So how you can check it? By giving man hyphen f, then your command name. If I give man hyphen f a small pwd, then it gives the manual of the pwd and how we can use the pwd. Then the next thing came. The next thing came is ls command. So ls, it print the file and directory in the present working directory. Like here, if I do ls in my directory, so whatever the file is or any directory is present inside it, show me. PWD. So earlier I have told you PWD, it will print the path of the present working directory. Like I have done PWD, so it will give me the path that I am a user slash desktop slash project in this space I was in. So in the given diagram also you are able to see. It is a graphical mode I have given here, so you can understand. So the next command is mkdir. That is, if you ever want to create any directory or any folder, you can create it by using mkdir command. Just write mkdir and your file name. Just it will create one file or directory. The next command is touch command. Let's see, if you want to create any empty file, you can do it by the touch command. Like here, if you want to create any C file or C++ file name, whatever you want, the file name extension would be there. Just write touch your file name. It will create an empty file. And if you want to write anything inside the file, you can do it by any editor. Like we have seen previously, VI, VIM, or Nano. So by these editor, you can edit your file. Let's see the rm and rf hyphen rf command. So for this, you have to use this command cautiously because it can delete a file. So what does this means? If you want to delete a single file, that is your whatever the file is there, not inside the folder, you can delete it by using rm command like rm your file name. And if you want to create delete our entire directory, then you have to use rm-rf command. That is rm-rf and your directory. If you want to change directory, that is from if you are in one directory and you want to go inside the other directory, that is here you are in the project directory. Here in this diagram you can see you are inside the project directory. And if you want to go inside the directory, what in Windows you do double click. Here you can what you do cd then your directory name. So you will go inside that. Now move mb command. So mb command is used to move a file or directory into a different directory, or it is also used to rename a file name or directory. That is mb. If you want to move a file, write mb, your name of a file, and the folder where you want to move. And you have to give the path, complete path of a folder where you want to move. Like mv, the main.cpp is my file, and I want to move in a stuff folder. So I've given a stuff folder. If the folder is not there where I have the command I have to give, so I have to give the entire command like slash home slash your file name and there and directory name there we have to move, so we have to give the complete commands. mv is also used to rename a file name. That is if there is a file name that is example.txt and we want to rename with new underscore name.txt, so what we have to do, we have to do with mb command. To write mb your old file name example.txt and whatever the name of new file name you want to give, write that name. It will rename the file. The next one is cp command. So cp is used for to copy a file. So what you it is similarly like the mb command. So write cp, your file name, and the directory where you want to copy. It will copy. Now see the parent directory. Parent directory refer to the current directory. That is, if you write pwd command, so currently with in which directory you are present, it will give the path of the directory. That is, it gives slash user slash your name slash desktop slash stuff. So this is the path where I get. And if I write cd dot dot, then I will be in the previous directory. If I write after cd dot dot, I write pwd command. So here I will get one directory behind, that is slash user slash your name desktop slash project. So by using cd dot dot, you can be in previous directory, move into previous. And home directory. That is, it refer to your home directory. That is, if you are present in any directory and you either want to enter in a home directory, just press cd and tilde sign. By doing this, you can be as a home directory. Like if I it will be cd slash, if I will be in the slash home slash cdac app slash my file slash my project, and I directly want to go to my home directory, I will press cd tilde. So I will directly in the slash home slash cdac app. Now see what are absolute path. An absolute path in Linux is a file path that starts from the root directory, which is represented by forward slash character. For example, the absolute path to the Python 3 command on most Linux systems is slash user slash bin slash Python 3. But absolute path can be useful when you need to make sure that you are referring to the correct file or directory. For example, if you have two different versions of Python 3 command uh, which is installed on your system, you can use an absolute path to make sure that you are using the correct version of Python. Now, relative path. A relative path in Linux is a file path that starts from the current directory. The current directory is the directory that you are currently working with. You can view the current directory by pwd command. So relative path can be useful when you want to access the files and directory that are in the same directory, like in a current directory or in subdirectories of the current directory. Like is, for example, if in the current directory, I have one file that is main.exe and I want to execute that file. For this, what I do, I will simply write dot slash and the file name. I don't have to give the entire path of the file. So this is the relative path. Now wget.
So the wget command is used for to download the file from the internet. If you want to download any file, just write wget and your file name. You will it will download the entire file. Sometimes there is a error, no certificate error is there. So you have to simply write hyphen hyphen no certificate, then it will simply download the file. It gives no error then. Next, tar. Tar command is used in a Linux is you create and manipulate archive file. Archive file are collection of one or more files that are compressed and stored in a single file. Archive files are often used to backup data or to distribute software. The tar command can be used to create new archive file and extract file for archive file and list the content of the archive file. To unpack the archive file, you can use the tar command with the -xvzf option or -xf or -xv option. The -x option tells the tar to extract the file from the archive file. The -v option tells the tar that is verbose, that is to display the information what are the files that are being extracted. And the -f comma option tells the name of the archive file. For example, to unpack the starter file of EESCS 280 project 1, that is the one, it's one of the tar file name, you would use simply tar-xvfz and then your tar file name. And what it would do, this would extract the content of the file to the current directory. The tar command is powerful tool that can be used to manage archive in the Linux. Now how to set the path or like the your path and LD library path. So what are these first? Let's understand. The path and LD library path, these are the environment variable first of all. It, it- so the path and LD library path are environment variable in Linux, which are used to tell the system where to look for executable file and shared file respectively. So the executable file are mainly stored in the path and the library file are stored in the LD library path. So you have to set the path and the LD library path environment variable in your environment. So you can use it by using the export command. For example, to set the path and LD library path environment variable, we have to include like let's say example, I have the binaries of any application in /home/app/bin file. So what I will do that I have to export path, then give equal to, then dollar path, then colon, then the path of the binary file where the my binaries are present. Then I have to do like this. And for that binary, whatever the libraries are present, I have to give the path by doing export LD library path equal to dollar $LD library path colon and the path of where the libraries are there. Then if you want to check whether the path environment variable have correctly stored the path of the binaries and the LD library, you can use echo command. So you can use the echo command to check the current values of the path and LD library path environment variable. For example, to check the current value of the path environment variable, you will use echo dollar $path. By using this, the entire path will be given to the binary. And when you give echo LD library path, then the entire path will be shown of the LD library. By this, you can check whether my binaries and the libraries file are correctly set in the environment or not. Then cat command came. So what cat command does? It can concatenate file and print them. So if I don't want to open the file using vim or nano, I just want to see what are the text which is written inside the file. I can simply write cat and the file name. Then it will simply show me what the other things are written inside the file. So I don't have to use vim because when you do vim, where you have to enter it. Then if you want to read the things also, you have to simply read it and then to exit from a file without writing anything. If you want to simply read anything, you write colon, you press shift plus S, then colon, WQ, then exclamatory mark. By this, you can come out of the file. Now see how we can transfer file from local computer to the your destination, that is to the remote computer. So but it is done by using SCP command, that is secure copy. So secure copy is a command line tool that is used for secure file transfer between local system to the remote system. So what it does, it uses SSH to encrypt the data before transfer it over the network, which making it secure way to transfer the file. To use SCP command, you need to know the username and IP address or host name of the remote system. You also need to know the path to the file or directory that where you want to transfer. That is, if like here one example I want to give, to copy a file from a local system to a remote system, you can use this following syntax like SCP, then the source file, that is the your local computer and from which file you want to transfer, then your username at the rate your IP or your host name, whatever is that is paramshivaya.iitbhu.ac.in, that thing I will put. Then I will put column and the path of the directory where I have to paste that, that is slash home slash your username slash the folder where I want to copy that file that I have to give. So what it give, it copy the my file.txt. Here one example I've given. So what is that? It copy the your file.txt from your local system to the remote system that is given, that is 192.168.43.120 by with the username as user. So it will use the following command. So you have given scp file.txt your user at the rate your IP address and colon and the path where you have to copy that file. So by using scp command, you can transfer the file. And one more thing, if you don't want to do like this, so there's one application, free application is there, WinSCP. By using WinSCP application, you simply download that application. It is available in Windows, and by in the that application, you simply write your username, your host name, and the port number where you want to. One thing you want to here, you have to specify port number also, because if you are connected in the IIT-BHU uh, network, then don't you have to enter any port number, but you have to transfer file. If you want to connect it in other network, then you have to mention a port number. So it is important thing to note down. So by using WinSCP also, there you can transfer a file, and it is very simple and easy way. Just drag and drop things are there. You can simply transfer the file using WinSCP. Then let's go through. It's a demo time. So whatever the command we have learned, uh, let's execute in a command line so you have a better idea. Thank you.